there is no one around you, where usually there would be busily bustling farmers, merchants on their way in or out of town, people hawking their wares or just giving each other a friendly, hey, how do you do? Instead, the streets are empty. No. In the distance, you hear the church bell ring.
I'll look around at where everybody isn't, and I feel like I can probably hear the sound of wheat blowing. And I'll walk towards the ringing church bells.
Make your way towards the ringing bells. What does the church in Imlay look like?
It's just like rough-hewn wooden planks. It's a very, very simple building. It's just painted white, but that's started to chip off. It's very, very windy here because we kind of get the wind off the mountain. And so the white is chipping, and then it's got like a lovely, bright, greenish aquamarine door at the front. It's very, very, very simple with big windows on either side. Little steps leading up to the front.
You look up those little steps, and at the top of them are the front doors, which as you approach, swing open.
I'll walk inside. Big steps up perfectly sized steps up the tiny steps.
Perfectly sized steps up the tiny steps. Indeed. And you feel as you're walking up them, almost like that when you walk up an escalator, like you're moving in between your strides, and the steps seem to carry right into the main hall of the church. And as you enter, you see as you enter into the main hall, candles alight, leading, creating a path down the main aisle betwixt the pews, leading to the altar at the far end of the church.
I'll walk up, looking side to side at the windows as I go by, and looking out the windows to see, is it still daylight outside? Can I still not see anybody through the windows?
You look outside, and what you see is like you're looking through the windows of a carriage, the landscape whipping by you, except instead of moving across the land, it's like the seasons are on a sped up loop. You see the falling snow of winter, which gives way to the green sprouts of spring, which themselves come to full bloom, and the windows steam in the heat of the summer. And you watch as soon as they reach their zenith, begin to wither and die and turn to golden red and orange in the height of fall, and it just keeps going and going and going.
I'll walk a little faster then, towards the front.
Sort of what is an insight into what would when you went with your family to church, what would sort of the ceremony be?
It's more like a Quaker house. So there isn't a deity that this church is dedicated to. It's mostly where town meetings are held. Worship on whatever the day of the week that is mostly just like joyful song and holding hands. People take turns going up to the front and they'll tell stories. It's mostly like the church of cultivating enthusiasm.
As you draw closer to the altar, you see ghostly figures moving it as if in, fast motion. Joyful song, moving up to the altar, saying a prayer and moving away, and these shadows kind of whip by you, passing through you, as if you were watching the course of a year, all happening in the breath of a minute.
I'll try and see if I can recognize anybody. If I can recognize my mom or Uncle Ham or Huey.
Give me a perception check. Yeah.
Okay. Natural 1.
You look to the faces, seeing if you can make out any of your family. No, that's not one. No, that's not one. That's not a family. No, that's not one. But then you start to notice, wait, they all look strangely similar. And one of these figures who are just in fast motion leaving the altar turns to you with Strahd's face and rushes forward, passing through you. You feel a cold shimmer, and soon all of the faces look to you. Hundreds of Strahds baring their teeth, bearing down on you. What would you like to do?
I run up to the front and start singing.
What do you sing?
I sing Happy Birthday in Halfling. I start singing, that's the first song I can think of, and it's a happy song, and I start singing Happy Birthday to the room in Halfling.
You run and run, your tiny little feet pounding on the hall of the church. Even though it's full of these ghastly figures, you can hear the echoing of your footsteps as you make your way up to the front of the church. And they all of the ghastly Strahds kind of fall in behind you, moving up the aisle like a wave, taunting, cackling, laughing, and screaming, nipping at your heels and tugging at your clothes. And as soon as you reach the altar and begin to sing, boom! Suddenly, all around you erupts in fire. A figure takes its place behind the altar, spreading wings of fire to either side. A horrifying maw opening before you. It screams, "Young Winnie! Be not afraid! You see truths your mind is not yet prepared for! My time with you is brief, as I have but a moment. You are far from me, but I am with you still. You are in grave danger, Winnie, from the devil and worse. Be strong, trust yourself, and you will see it through, Winnie. I must leave you now, but trust yourself! Trust yourself, Winnie!" As you wake up, the sounds of church bells fading away.